Yes.
I'm ready.
All right. Under no circumstances talk about that again, Mel. That was inappropriate.
That was our worst intro yet.
Yeah, as a matter of fact. All right, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Yes.
I like the first intro better.
Then I'll splice it in.
Okay. Either way, welcome to How to Ski It. Now you guys make me nervous that I'm going to get it wrong. We're at episode 9.
That is
That's
correct.
And episode 9 is about Snowmageddon.
Yeah, snow's back, baby.
Snow is back in a lot of the United States. I know California got hit, Wyoming got hit, Colorado got hit, Utah got hit.
Whistler, British Columbia got hit like crazy.
They got hit a little earlier. I don't think
Yeah.
they got out of this one.
Yeah, true.
And I saw Taos got some snow like last week, but didn't get this past weekend. And so since the last time we talked to everybody, we did a little bit of skiing at Eldora and we did a little bit of skiing at Copper Mountain. And we went to the Airy for lunch.
Midway Lodge.
Midway Lodge at Copper Mountain. We'll talk about that. That was nice. It's a new addition. And then Saturday, 15 inches of powder at Eldora. And then today, we reaped the benefits of the additional 15 inches, which was skied off today, but fantastic conditions.
Absolutely fantastic. And still snowing.
You can tell that packed snow is just still a good base. It hasn't melted down. Like, I mean, you could jump and put your ski through the packed snow. Like, it's just a great soft base.
Yeah, even a groomer
Yeah.
was soft if you fell on a groomer. And at Eldora, that's saying a lot because it can get really firm there.
Yeah, for sure.
And joining us today is Melinda Downey, a member of How to Ski It, but she hasn't been on the podcast. And we do have women members of How to Ski It. And she skied with us almost every time that we've talked about this year, at least. How many days are you up to this year?
Man, I wish I'd looked before we got on. I think it's like 13 or 14.
That's not bad.
That's more than me. I think
Definitely
today
more
was
than me.
10 for me.
Yeah, that's not bad. 13 or 14 this time of year. You do what you can do, but we've talked about it before. We have let's try to get 10 days in before the first of the year.
What are you at, Dave?
I think 17 was today. Again, just like Mel, I'd had to have looked, but I'm pretty sure it's 17 or 18. And Saturday was the best day of skiing at Eldora, Colorado, I think I've ever had. And part of what helped it is I had the Deb Armstrong skis on.
Yeah.
And I had a 116 underfoot that's light as paper and had a great day and broke tracks. A couple runs were top to bottom, no tracks from anybody else, 15 inches of really light powder. So the season's going, and I think we're going to try to go up to Eldora again tomorrow. It's so good.
Yeah.
I hope.
Man, it was great today. I absolutely loved the conditions were amazing.
And work is a priority, but skiing it's a work-life balance is what we're going to try to figure out.
Yeah.
So we got a couple subjects. We have Mel on the line today with us on the How to Ski It podcast. And
Contrary to popular belief, that is not Ryan's voice, just changed a little bit. That is Mel. That's a new.
That is true. That is true.
I know you've never seen him in the same room before, but
And Ryan was invited today.
he
to go
was. Where was
skiing.
he?
He, I think, was sitting on the sofa watching TV.
he was out of town last weekend, and I didn't reach out to him to like rub it in. I reached out to him to let him know we're good. The season's set. We have enough snow now to have a good ski season. And so, Mel, you learned something valuable in the last couple days that you weren't having a great ski season, and you said your knees were hurting you, and you just weren't having a great ski season. And what did you do, and what happened?
Well, so I'm a smaller stature person. So I bought last year some uphill gear that, can do uphill or downhill.
Yeah, shift bindings and backcountry boots and lightweight line skis.
Which I love, actually really love them. And so I was like, ooh, I'm going to just turn them into my all mountain and just use them all the time. And that was a terrible choice. I wasn't really realizing that it was my boots, but my knees started really hurting, and it was my Scarpa boots were just not right for
Alpine.
They just weren't. So I went back to my Solomons, and my knees are feeling better, and I was on the slopes with everybody today and felt way back to myself.
And you skied
Nice.
powder on Saturday, and 15 inches for somebody that's like 5'2" is a lot more than it is for somebody that's 6'2".
It was awesome. I'm not going to lie. Anybody who didn't get some of that powder on Saturday, I apologize, but it was the best day of the year by a lot.
Nice.
By a lot. I agree. It was maybe the best day at Eldora. And then a couple things, if you're an Eldora fan today, Brian Glades is open top to bottom, and Gully Glades was open today. And they haven't opened up the Glades like on the Corona side, or I don't even know what we call that area, Salto Glade and West Ridge. That stuff's not open, but they were blasting it today. But when Brian Glades and Gully Glades are open and almost rock free, that's unusual.
Yeah.
There'll be rocks this year because that run gets skied in and gets skied off, but an amazing day. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is Marcus's skiing has gone leaps and bounds, and there's a specific thing we can put our finger on for you to go in one day to be twice as good as you were the day before. What happened?
New skis? Is that what you're talking about? 'Cause
Yeah.
That's all I can think that's changed.
I don't know how new
Dude.
skis make that big of a difference, but
I got those apostles, and all of a sudden I know how to turn most of the time. I'm still not perfect at it.
so Marcus got a pair of RMU Apostles. They're 106 underfoot. And one of the things about Apostle, and I do love RMUs, is the tips and the tails are ticked up a little bit. And that means they ski like a 150, even though it's like a 180. And
Yeah.
so and all of a sudden you're making turns, and then we're skiing Black Diamonds. We skied Resolution at Copper Mountain, which is something that I would have been worried about you going down last year, and you just mastered it.
This year is literally the first time I've ever done actual trees. I did some of those like super wide open trees where it's actually just a run with some trees in the middle, which are great. But I skied Brian's Glades last week when we went to Eldora. Then I skied it again today. Like you said, at Copper Resolution Bowl. What was it? Far East of Resolution?
It's just Resolution is the run. The lift is Resolution, but the run we
Got
skied
it.
was also Resolution.
And then we also did what was that backside triple treat? Not triple
zero.
treat, triple
Zero.
zero. Thank you. 000 down to that same resolution lift, which was
Incredible.
incredible.
Yeah.
I would
Magic
like to
is what we
just
said
I would like to just say I stayed in the van that
All
day.
day.
all
was-
day.
Way too cold.
I heard that you got mad when we stopped for lunch.
Yeah, I thought you were stopping to have a quick snack and like maybe warm up because it was cold. What was it, 6 degrees, and the wind was blowing at least 20 miles an hour. That ain't my skiing. I'm sorry. I do not want to make anyone think less of me, but it was way too cold. So I'm out when it's that bad.
It was cold. It was brutal.
I felt good though. I
It felt
was
good
I was
except
prepared.
at the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was double layered the first time ever, double layered head to toe.
And understanding the mountain and understanding, you know what runs are cold on cold days? Cruiser runs, high speed runs, things like that. You know what runs aren't cold on cold days? Bump runs, advanced runs where you go a little bit slower and you put a lot of effort in. But that's why we went over to Resolution, and knowing the mountain, you know, I said to you guys, let's go down into Resolution. The weather will be great down there. And we went down into Resolution at Copper Mountain, and the snow was falling straight down. And so knowing where to go and stuff like that. And then we went to, did we decide the name was Airy? It's the new Mid-Mountain Lodge at Copper Mountain.
I'm going to call it Airy.
It should be Airy. I had a friend
How
named
it's
Airy,
spelled.
and that's how it's spelled. So
Perfect.
That's what I'm going
I'm
with.
going with Airy.
And we've talked about, like, we don't want to be critical of anything if we can help it in the ski industry. But was that not the best looking hamburger you've ever seen.
It was oh my gosh. The image of that hamburger was incredible. It looks staged.
And we made a little video and it's on our YouTube, and it wasn't that good of a hamburger.
Yeah.
It just
it
wasn't
did the
that
job.
good. It did the job. It was a burger.
I had chicken tenders.
Oh, that's right. You didn't have the burger. Dylan had the burger. There was nothing wrong with it. It didn't match up to how it looked.
There
Yeah.
was not. It was just decent beef grilled pretty well, but there's no salt, no nothing,
No salt at all.
nothing. It could have been great, and maybe a different day it could be better with a different staff. Who knows?
Yeah,
And
maybe.
And then as we talked about, it was super cold, so it was jacked.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find a place to sit down. So we figured it out eventually. And you know, people were nice enough that they see you standing there and they're like, hey, what if we move over? You guys can slide in here. So we had a nice lunch. I'll give it a thumbs up. But then we went upstairs because our job was to explore the place, make a little video. And then we went upstairs and there's a bar.
There's a full restaurant, sit
full-
down, full service. It's called Forage and Feast.
Porridge and feast.
And we sat at the bar and had a beer, and it was awesome.
It was awesome.
Everything I wanted out of what we were looking for.
I was a little disappointed we didn't find it first.
So the burger was $17 and it came with fries and it was pretty good. You know, what do you expect at a ski area? So that's not out of whack if you went out to eat in Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah,
That's
true.
not out of whack. And then upstairs,
The
was
burger was 27.
yeah, so 10 more bucks
Yeah.
upstairs.
And you know what the burger still had was it maybe it wasn't fully seasoned and all that, but you know what, it did have the quality of what was there and the volume. So like I was full.
I was
like
full.
you said, it did the job.
I was full too.
Yeah.
Kudos to Ari for that.
Yeah,
I was also not full. I think I had a
Yeah,
Kurtz
how was
bar,
your
which is
burger?
amazing. Just plugging Kurtz bars, but I think I ate that in some trail mix. So yeah,
I've definitely
my own
had
choice.
You should have gone to the Airy.
I've definitely had worse $17 burgers. Is kind of what
Yeah.
I'm getting at. So
I agree with that.
So if
and
you're,
way less.
if you're looking for a mid-mountain stop, and we made a video, we put it on our YouTube. It's just some visuals, and Marcus does a little description of it. And we did it under the guise of it could be a decent après ski, although it closes at 4. You can download on the gondola, or you can ski that bottom half of the mountain, which isn't amazing at most ski areas, nor at Copper Mountain. But
Yeah, it's basically down Andy's Encore. It's right at the top of the American Eagle, if you're familiar with Copper. So the run down it can be fine.
a lot of people. But Copper Mountain's firing. Eldora's firing.
Yep. Snow's
Haven't-
back.
Haven't made it back up to Summit County since Friday. And there was like 40 inches. And you know what made the national news this weekend was I-70.
Yeah. I saw somebody roll twice on I-70. Not personally. I saw a video of somebody rolling twice on I-70 this weekend.
6 hours to get home just yesterday, which was a Tuesday. But my understanding is a lot of the kids aren't back in school because the parking lot was full today.
Yeah, it was.
No lift lines.
No, it was it was fine. It's weird how many cars there were at Eldora to have 0 lift lines.
How many cars? The parking lot was full. And we said, can we go up front? And they were like, there's nothing up there. So it all worked out. Eldora's back. And that's important for us. If you're wondering why we're plugging Eldora, it's 20 minutes from our office.
Yeah.
And so we can bust up there. We skied for 2 hours and then came back and we're recording the podcast at the office.
But I will say, I felt like one of the most important things that we did this weekend was not doing I-70.
Yeah.
That after seeing all the carnage and how, yes, the snow was up there, and so we maybe missed some turns, but Eldora had great turns. So I feel like in the end, we made the absolute right choice.
And
Yeah.
Saturday is the busiest day I think I've ever gone to Eldora. And we knew it was going to be, and Mel and myself labored about it. Like, should we go up there? And it's going to be busy. And we got up there early and we got a good parking spot because we have an electric car and they have electric car charging in the front row at Eldora. But then the lift lines weren't that bad.
No.
And then
Yeah.
did you guys see because the last podcast I was plugging chair 5 and 17 at Vail.
Oh, I think you sent that to me. That was wild.
And Mel said she saw somebody in the comments said it was only like 10 or 15 minutes.
Oh.
But it looked like it was like an hour.
Well,
yeah,
there-
it did. It looked massive.
The person's comment, which is true, is that they do not have big gates there. It's a short queue line because it's not normally stacked up. So people really spill out because it's not like a lot of places that have longer queue lines.
Yeah, there's just like 2 lines for each, one for 5 and 2 lines for 5 and 2 for 17. And so I get what they're saying, but we were just talking because Melinda and I skied there last Saturday and there were no lift lines on 5 and 17 all day. And that's where we chose to ski.
A
And
week ago, Saturday.
Yeah, a week ago Saturday.
So going back just a little bit, because I want to lead into something here. Something that happened to me at Copper is I knew we were going through some serious terrain. I knew we were doing moguls, and I was like, you know what? I'm skiing really good. And I tightened my boots down, and I tightened one of them down so much that my toes started to go to sleep. So when we stopped at the area, I literally had to take my boot off entirely. You sent me a video talking about like, oh yeah, you got to make sure your arch has enough room to move. Makes perfect sense. I figured it out, sorted it out on the next couple runs we did after stopping at the area. Well, we got, someone reached out to a post that I made about our podcast on Reddit and reached out and actually, so his name's Ryan. We're going to call him the other Ryan, just so that we have clarity. And he reached out and commented on our Ryan's information about not getting your boots warmed up, or what's the word? What's the heater?
The molding.
Molding.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Heat molded.
So other Ryan was like, "Hey, you should let me come on the podcast, and I want to discuss that with Ryan."
Because he's a boot fitter, right?
He's a boot fitter, and he boot fit at Mary Jane for 4 years.
Very cool.
Pretty sure it was Mary Jane.
Yes.
Thank you. So we're going to have other Ryan on here. Probably my goal is to have him next podcast. We're going to figure out a time with him, get him on. We got to have Ryan here so that those two can duke it out and we can just sit back and watch.
Ooh, I like that.
But speaking of my boot not fitting at Copper, we had somebody reach out and wanted to talk to Ryan about his preferences on non-heat molding boots. We also had another person that we're going to bring on to talk about Whitefish.
One of my favorite places to ski. Me and Mel have skied there a dozen or so times in the last 10 years. Let's go back to boots really quick. Is your boot problem resolved?
Yeah, I literally at the Airy, I took my boot off and let my foot recover, essentially, let my toes come back. And when I put it back in, I was very intentional. My left boot was fine. My right boot was a problem. I latched my right boot to match my left boot. Didn't have a problem the rest of the day. Didn't have a problem today at Eldora. So
can I ask you
it
a
was
quick
a problem.
question of a little poll, a quick impromptu poll? How many people here actually wear ski socks versus just socks?
That's funny because this is the conversation we had with Marcus at Copper Mountain.
Yep.
And he said he wore 2 pairs of ski socks. And
Oh,
I wore 2 pairs of socks, which didn't help, but my left
That's a
foot
terrible
wasn't having a
Dave and I
problem.
collectively were just like, ah.
Yeah. So I won't do that again. But my left foot wasn't having a problem. It was my right foot. So it wasn't actually the socks. I know.
well,
it
no.
was
I'm
planned.
asking. I'm not
got
blaming you. I know that Mr. Downey wears like tennis socks. Like he does not wear proper.
He was the
socks.
one throwing shade.
no, that's not true. I have worn tennis socks because we ski spur of the moment a lot. And so in the spring down here in town, you might be wearing shorts and then we end up at Eldora and you're wearing ankle socks. They're not tennis socks.
Oh, sorry.
Ankle socks. But I want to stick with boots because it's a group of experienced skiers and 2 of you guys are like hopelessly lost on boots. That Mel's was skiing in boots that was hurting her knees and unaware that the boots were causing it. And Marcus has to buckle his boots down so tight that he has to
I
unbuckle
did
them.
it once. One time that's happened to me.
And where I want to go with this is how important properly fitting boots are and how important, and I don't think people realize that, Because what's the flashy part of skiing? It's the skis.
Yeah.
And people will get new skis every year and they'll suck up boots. And Ryan, who's not here, the How to Ski at Ryan, also has boot issues. And he has to unbuckle them down at the chairlift and rebuckle them at the top and stuff like that. And he's really, it's a lot of work. And so how do we get people to take the boot situation seriously? I don't know.
It's part of a system, right? I mean, it's just like, I think of it the same way with biking too, that, the whole system of the bike is important, just like the ski and the boot work together as one system. And so you're right. Like they definitely need to work together to give you the performance that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And you might not need a performance boot, or you might, and flex. And we've talked about this. I like stiff boots. That does not work for everybody. And I just, more than anything in the last week, have realized how important boots are. I've been very lucky, but remember, I have a pair of backcountry boots. It's hard to ski on them.
Yeah.
It's hard to ski.
It's meant to bring you back to the base after you go up.
They're made for lightweight. They're made to be able to skin uphill. They're not made for performance. And then a 130, which is a flex rating on a backcountry boot. My K2 backcountry boots are 130s. I would rate them as like a 100 on the Nordica scale for my Nordica Alpine boots, which are also 130s.
Mm.
And I can't ski in them. I can ski. I can get down the mountain. I can look okay, but I can't have any performance. I can't ski moguls, stuff like that. And how do you know? How would you know that your boot is causing you so much trouble? Mel didn't know how her boot was causing trouble. And then we figured it out. And the difference between last Thursday at Eldora and Saturday at Eldora was giant, just from switching boots.
But remember, like one of the things we talked about was I switched into those Scarpas, like into the latter part of last season. So it didn't dawn on me. I was already ski fit. My body was already skiing tuned machine.
Confidence is high.
And so it didn't occur to me and that could be the problem. I thought I was just getting old and struggling.
And I've said, buy everything on eBay. I haven't exactly said that, but I'm a big fan of buying new skis on Facebook and eBay. Yeah. I do not support that decision on boots unless you are buying a 2022 model XYZ PDQ and I've already skied on it and I already know that it's what I want, but just hoping it works is a terrible idea. In Colorado, go to Christie's, go to Boulder Ski Deals, which is called Epic Mountain Sports. Go to Loveland. We had great service at the ski shop at Loveland. Go there, go somewhere, and these guys and girls will take their time, find out what you need, get you in a boot. And then even better, what's great about doing it at a ski area is they'll send you out there for a couple runs. And then the hardest thing to explain to people is the first day you ski on boots isn't really what you're going to get out of them in the long run.
Yeah.
And so sometimes there's some little aches and pains that you work through and then you never have again.
But you could also look at the place that you're interested in buying your boot. And I know Christie's will let you return them. So if they don't work, you can go exchange for a different pair of boots. So you're not like stuck in this,
That's a great idea. And you did that once, that the boots didn't work out and we went back to Christie's, not even like asking for new boots or not even asking for them. Is there anything you can do to help us fit this? Probably heat molded or something.
That's exactly what it was.
And they said, no, this boot's never going to work right for you. And we're sorry. Here, why don't we try a different boot? And you got new boots, which are the boots you're skiing on now.
Yeah,
Incredible.
They are.
And that's where you give your business to a place like Christie's. And I've had the same kind of service at Ski Deals.
I got my current boots at Epic Mountain Deals, which is
Epic Mountain Sports, which is used to be Boulder Ski Deals.
It's Epic Mountain Gear. Used to be Boulder Ski Deal.
Boulder Ski Deals.
That's actually the full title of the store.
That's where I got mine. And that was literally the first year I started skiing. I went and I was looking for a reasonably priced pair. Had the guy at the store, and this isn't the one in Boulder, it's the one in Westminster. He helped me. He walked me through, here's some more budget friendly options. tried them on. He heat molded them, made me stand in them as if you were skiing, squatted forward, shins up against the front of them. And I haven't had any issue with those boots. They've been great, with the exception of when I tightened one area of it too much.
And wore 2 pairs of socks.
So it's way more user error. They've been great though. And what I agree with you is the boots are important, and going somewhere they can help you find the right boots is important.
The most important. I could ski on 20-year-old skis tomorrow. I couldn't ski on 20-year-old boots tomorrow. And then Dylan, you did the same thing. You just walked into the ski shop and you said, I need boots. How did that go? And how do you like your boots? What'd you get?
I have some Solomons, and I also went to Epic Mountain in Boulder.
What's it called?
Used to be, but
I need the full name.
It's called Boulder Ski Deals.
Epic Mountain Gear, previously known as
AKA.
That's where I went, and I loved my experience actually, because I just went. It was the night before I was going to go take my skis up for the first time to Loveland, and I was like, I need boots. I would like them for tomorrow. And I could tell they were really busy. I waited in line to get to the check-in for your appointment station at the counter for like 10 minutes. And I was like, hey, here's what I'm at. I just want to just do a walk-in and see if I can get some boots. And they're like, yeah, I don't know. Why don't you go sit over there? And then like some really professional, like good boot fitter came up to me in like 3 minutes and was like, how can I help you? Nice. So I loved that. It was incredible. And he wasn't rushed. He took the time to talk to me and figure out what I wanted and what budget. Brought out a couple options, and so far, like I'll be interested. Ski boots are weird for me because I have some history of skiing, so I can't say I'm starting from scratch, but I'm definitely starting from scratch and like what to expect from a boot. So I really am trying to give it the shot of like 10 days to see like, what do I really feel? And that's what he said. He said, give him 10 days, come back if you need to. And I probably will, even just to have a conversation and see what's normal and be like, oh yeah, you shouldn't be feeling that. Just like, things I've brought up while skiing, like shin pains. And today I felt like I strained my ankle, which is weird.
Oh, interesting.
In a ski boot. They're high volume, so I probably float around a little bit. But there's like inserts that come with them, and we can see if we can take out some of the volume.
Are you wearing ski socks?
Are you wearing 2 pairs? I recommend 3, but
definitely not wearing more than 1 pair. I am wearing smart wool socks that are probably not ski socks. They're the right material, but they're not long enough, which might be my shin problem because the seam is like inside the boot.
Well, also ski socks, one of the bonuses, in my opinion, is that it has a cushion. Like it has extra cushion.
You know what? I just ordered a few pairs on Amazon that have like a shin cushion, so I'm excited to give those a shot.
My favorite ski socks, and they are ski socks, but they look like they're made for soccer. They look like they have a shin guard built in, and it's just double thickness there.
Oh, the spider, those green.
But it looks like it has a shin guard built in, and it has extra padding on the shin, and it increases performance. You have to fit in there tight. It has to be solid. It has to be a little bit higher volume socks. You can get away with tube socks. It's not going to like ruin your day, but your feet shouldn't be cold. You got these big old boots on it, and a lot of that has to do with circulation, but boots that don't fit is the first telltale sign is somebody's like, my feet are cold all the time. And that's a good example of like circulation being cut off or something like that. And then not wearing the right socks is another reason that your feet will be cold and you'll suffer from performance. Those are easy fixes.
Here's an interesting insight that it makes me think of is we've talked about before. Most recently, I've been snowboarding, and man, it is not the same conversation because I think we can all agree snowboarders have the better boot.
Yes.
Agreed.
They're the only ones that walk from the parking lot at Copper Mountain to it says 7-minute walk, and it's just a flow of snowboarders.
Dude, I did
just
it one time. It's terrible.
They're just my snow boots. When I got to go shovel, I put on my snowboard boots, and they're good. And you don't have any of these problems. I mean, when I'm snowboarding, I'll put on long socks if I want to take the extra 2 minutes to think about it. But my normal ankle socks are fine. I usually wear jeans and stuff them into the boot, and it's fine. It's all just fine. But man, skiing, I like did a similar thing my first day, and I had long, like almost knee-high socks made out of cotton. And man, that was a hard lesson learned, because it was like the seams pinched my skin, and I had a blister down my legs for every seam around the whole sock, and it was just miserable.
That sucks. You know what? I need this as a pull quote for our social. I'm going to post this on our social. If you hear this on the actual podcast, obviously you can't comment, but you could go to any of our socials at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I'm going to post this. It should be a reel. Are you okay with people skiing in jeans? No one here comment yet. Are you okay with people skiing in jeans? Do you ski in jeans? Now everyone here, what are your thoughts?
To be clear, is it the same thing to say that jeans are your base layer, or you're skipping snow pants altogether?
Wait, hold on. You wear? Are you telling me you have jeans on underneath your ski pants?
Most of the time, snowboarding, yes.
Oh my god!
Because it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot to me too. I don't think I'm not gonna lose it over that. But like I couldn't sit there and criticize him. I wear pajama bottoms under my ski pants.
That is true.
I wore these shorts.
I wear shorts when it's a little warmer than it was today. But yeah, on a cold day I wear pajama bottoms, and on a warm day I wear whatever shorts I had on to start the day. And it's not a big deal. But being warm and comfortable is all that matters.
True.
That's all that matters.
And unrestricted.
So you guys are good if I ski in jeans?
I am.
Yes, I'm good if you ski in jeans by yourself.
That still could just be another difference, because with snowboarding, what kind of movement do you need between your legs? None. You're stuck.
If you're going to ski in jeans, I think you need a sports jersey, like a Broncos jersey,
Ooh, I'm in.
an
I'm in for
Avs
that.
jersey.
GoPro
And then
on the helmet.
what's the thing that the gator, and you gotta have gators on between your boots?
No, if you're
and
going to
your
ski in jeans, you go all the way. You just let them get wet. That's your fault. Don't fall.
No, but it's just okay.
If you're going to wear jeans and gaiters, you might as well wear pants.
Yeah,
Ski
that's
pants.
my agree. Yeah, if you're going to wear jeans, just don't fall.
Why
That's
don't
your
you
rule.
just wear dress pants? I mean, like, what is the
Ooh,
why are the-
tuxedos. Tuxedos.
Like, are you, so okay? I am Am I allowed to say I'm originally from Texas? Is that okay?
I wouldn't have, but go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I am originally from Texas. I've been here since 1989, so I've been here a long time. And yes, when I was a kid, we skied in jeans because, like, honestly, there was in Dallas.
You're from Texas.
There was a single ski shop, and everybody went spring break, and you got what you got. And if you got nothing, you got nothing. So sometimes we would ski in jeans, but now I can't even imagine it. And I especially cannot imagine wearing jeans underneath my ski pants.
No, it's your base layer.
It's all it is.
I have long underwear as my base layer. In fact, when we skied Eldora this week, it was such wet snow that it soaked through my pants, my long underwear, and my underwear. It was, by the time we got home, I was sopping wet head to toe. It was awesome, but wet.
But wet. Yeah, the jeans, I think we should just give it a try. It's been
I've skied in jeans.
35 years since I've skied in jeans. No, I skied in jeans with a friend once as kind of like a joke, but we wore Bronco jerseys too.
Hey, we can do jerseys. That's fine. We should all ski in jeans at some point this spring.
All right, I'll do it.
Yeah, let us know if you wait. And we could dedicate a whole show to layering up. Like today, I won't go into too much detail, but we wanted to take the Ray-Ban Meta glasses skiing, and they're great, but they have a flaw. They do not work when they get cold at all. So I wore a Patagonia down vest under my ski jacket that had an internal pocket. And then, of course, that solved the keeping the glasses warm problem. But then I was overheated because I was just layered too deep for it to be 25 degrees today. You really don't need that much clothing. And it looked bad, but it wasn't. It was warm today.
I'm sorry. I need to say one thing. If ski pants or jeans or whatever it is going to get you skiing, you should wear it.
Yes.
I want to be clear that I'm making fun of Dylan for wearing it under his ski pants, but whatever it is, it's going to make it so you can go out and enjoy the mountains. Go do it.
Dylan's a ski and snowboard influencer. And so it's important. And I want to emphasize what Mel said, getting out there, whatever it is. The only thing I would recommend against wearing, which you'll see in the spring, is shorts. It's a terrible idea.
That's a terrible idea.
Because snow can be abrasive. And it's funny. I've done it. But I agree with what Mel said. If jeans is what you have, or jeans are what's comfortable,
Yeah.
then go for it. If you need to wear a coonskin hat, go for it.
It'll get you up there.
I would say wear a helmet if it's your first time.
Helmet, boots, and skis. Gloves.
but-
I would take gloves.
One of the things that I think is pretty cool about our company and the people here is the amount of hand-me-down skis, and equipment. As we talked about, everybody has to get their own boots, but the number of skis and things that have gone through this company so that everybody could learn to ski. Anybody that wants to go can go. It's a pretty cool environment here.
It is cool.
And
Like,
that's
yeah.
a great thing to do if you're a skier or snowboarder and you're going to get new stuff. See if you can hand it down. See if you can bring somebody into the sport. I love handing skis and bikes down because I develop like an emotional attachment to a pair of skis, and the idea of taking them to the pound it is. I know it's just a pair of skis, but I have a thing with all my skis. But when I give them to a friend and they're like stoked Dylan skiing on a pair of Rossi Soul 7s, of my favorite skis ever, and they're still in great shape, that makes my day. And seeing you ski Brian Glades on them today, they're back where they belong.
right where they came from.
Right
I
where
know.
they came from.
I donated a pair of mine to a friend who told me that it gave her ski cred. I gave her some Icelandic 2015. They were my favorite ski ever. They skied great and they were cool. And she said it gave her immediate street cred.
Every Icelandic ski is cooler looking than every other ski out there. RMU has done some cool stuff.
Yeah, I
used
was
to
going
have
to say,
some
speak for yourself.
with an elk on them, but in general, Icelandic.
They're
me-
just so cool.
Mine's New Belgium cross branded. But Icelandic is
The coolest.
amazing.
And they're RMU and Icelandic are both Colorado
Yeah.
brands. And so, and we've threatened this. We're in Colorado. We want it to be this national. We look at all these things, but you'll hear us talk about Colorado just so much more because we live here and we're going to Utah. We're going to Idaho. In fact, we're going to go down and check out Telluride in the next 2 weeks, which I get it. It's in Colorado.
I was like, wait, I really thought that was
I hate to
Colorado.
break it to you.
Telluride and Wolf Creek and Purgatory, which I think has a new name now. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, it does. I'll Google that. Hold on.
Has
Keep going.
is another world, and it's a great world, but it's 6-7 hours from here. I can get to Taos in 4 hours. I can get to Jackson in 8 hours.
Yeah, we call it northern New Mexico.
It is northern. That people are going to be upset by that. But we're going to go down there, and we have a friend that we skied with in college a lot who lives there. So we're hoping to hook up with him, and we'll do some how to ski it content on the spiral staircase and the plunge and some of the classic runs from way back.
It is still called Purgatory.
We look like idiots and we don't even know the
I
name.
know. It says close to heaven, fun as hell is their
I know.
tagline.
I
just
saw
saw that.
those
I'm
and I was
sold.
like, that's got to be Purgatory. Like, if you're not, if that name is changed from Purgatory and that's still their tagline, I'm going to have a problem.
Yeah, no, that is. We're idiots.
Purgatory is a cool mountain. It's been 25 years since I've skied there, but there's a cliff band that kind of circles the mountain that there's lots of fun things to do with it. It's not a huge mountain, but it's fantastic. It's a lot like Eldora, if you ask me.
Nice.
So I think we do Telluride into Aspen X Games, and then we follow the snow. So maybe we hit Taos or we hit Park City. I think we mix it up. Maybe even Big Sky.
Yeah, Taos would be my first choice if I could go anywhere. And especially we talked about it on the last podcast, top 10s and all these things. And it got the ranking in one of the top 10s. There's so many of the most advanced ski area in America, with Jackson Hole being second, which is like, whoa. And it is. If you've been up to Kachina Peak, it's scary.
Do you still have to hike to get up there?
There's a detachable quad now.
Whoa.
When we were younger, we had to hike. So it was a 45-minute hike to ski the chutes.
Yeah.
And now there's actually a detachable. I shouldn't say that it's a detachable quad. It's a quad. I haven't skied it yet, believe it or not. So
Nice.
Last time I was there, you had to hike. So let's move on. We're almost done. What are you drinking?
I've got the Voodoo Ranger Juice Force.
That's so your
New
jam.
Belgium. Yep.
It
That is.
That is the
100%.
Marcus beer.
Dylan?
I've got the Stone Tangerine Express hazy IPA, and I give it a good 10 out of 10.
And I shouldn't even ask my wife because she's not drinking. She don't drink really. She does, but she doesn't.
I do love me a good margarita, but I'm having water right now.
And I'm still on the Athletic Brew. I'm drinking the Athletic Brewing personal record. It's the Ironman branded Athletic Brew. I wonder where that came from.
Oh,
I can't imagine.
And then did you guys listen to music today?
I
Or
did.
The last couple times, what'd you listen to?
The last couple times I had like at Copper, it was Led Zeppelin and Lil Nas X actually on a playlist together with Perpetual Groove,
P Groove.
Pea Groove.
which was pretty sweet. Today, I just started a random shuffle and got to one band that I had never listened to skiing, but is one of my favorite bands of all time, one of the best bands of all time, and went, oh my gosh, this is my jam, and switched over entirely to Queen. And it was
Oh.
so
choice.
good skiing.
Dylan, any music?
So when I do listen to music,
That's a no.
He doesn't really listen to music.
when I do listen to music,
He
He
doesn't-
can't hear the words.
He doesn't
can't.
like the
I
Beatles.
can't.
Mm.
I don't.
Let's not start. Let's not go there.
This is a ski
We'll get
podcast.
a lot of listens if we ask Dylan about the Beatles.
I always really like. It's funny. I always really like to put on like indie acoustic music because it's just like a vibe, like
Yeah.
George Ezra or like all kinds of. There's a Spotify playlist called Sweater Weather, and it's just like it just puts you into a snow vibe, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know, between skiing and running and biking, I'm really more into just not music. Like part of what I enjoy about these outdoor sports is being present in the outdoor sport. And, you know, in the case of skiing, hearing the snow, hearing the wind, I just enjoy that a lot. Coming from a profession around audio and music, it's like different to do it that way for me. So I enjoy no music. I enjoy it. So
Nice.
nothing today.
He makes me feel like we shouldn't be listening to music when we ski. Mel, what'd you listen to? I know it's okay to.
No, I was gonna say, dude, if I didn't listen to it, then I hear my own internal
Dialogue.
dialogue.
Yeah.
But that's like the healing medicinal part of these sports to me.
Okay, so let's be clear. Your internal dialogue and my internal dialogue are clearly not on the same level. And so for me, literally being able to listen to music makes me enjoy the groove of my skiing and get into my turns versus sitting there and critiquing every turn in my head and overthinking the terrain and the lighting and where's that person. Because I'm not a super big person, I'm often worried about somebody running me over. And so honestly, oh God, I can't imagine not having music. Those days actually are hard for me. I was listening to one of our work playlists because that's on my phone and I just shuffle them. But I will say that a couple songs that stood out to me today were Rio, Duran Duran, Never Been Any Reason, Head East.
Tom Zebart's song.
Yep, Tom Zebart song. And those were, you know, two of the songs that I really like I can remember during the day that I was in the zone.
Yeah. I listen in music, you and me agree, like we make sure that everything's charged up. If you needed a battery to ski, we would be fine because we charge our stuff up to make sure we have music. I listened to the Dirty Heads today.
Oh, that is a good vibe.
The music is important. It's important to me, but I try to keep the music on my iPhone current, meaning stuff I like, so I can just hit play.
Yeah.
So what's next for skiing? I know we've mentioned it. We're a digital media company, and we have clients coming into the office for a video shoot. We have all kinds of stuff going on, but somehow we're going to figure out how to get done. The client's supposed to be done at 1:00, which means if we leave at 1:02, we'll be on the slope by 2 p.m. at Eldora tomorrow.
That's my goal.
Do you think Ryan's going to go?
I don't think Ryan's invited. He didn't come today.
Oh, he'll go tomorrow because it's a work day. That's why he didn't go today. It's his day off from being out of town. Tomorrow's a work day. He'll be like, yeah, I got my skis on the car. I just waxed them. So, all right.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. That's going to wrap us up for today on episode 9. And Marcus is going to cue up the outro.
Follow us on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube, all at How to Ski It. And we'll see you next time.
That was the worst outro we've done yet.
You're the worst outro we've done.
By far the worst.
I loved it.
Well, if Mel loved it.
That one was weird.
I blame Mel.
Me too.